What is up with it? Today we are going to be watching a best of 3 in the Sabadi Showdown. This is going to be a green, purple Luffy versus a red, yellow Belo Betty. Please check out Sabadi Showdown. They're kind of like the new NCL. Just a bracket series going on in Europe. Before I forget, we can actually look at the deck lists. Shout outs to Sabadi for including these in the description. All right, so we have the Belo Betty. Okay, interesting. So choosing to run the promo Sabo. A couple dragons, you don't always see that. And then for the green purple list, running the sword. Okay, running a few one-ofs. Running 3 Taro, 4 Frankie, no choppers, but a couple Robins, a couple green Zoros. Only 8 2Ks. That could definitely come up in this matchup. 4 search event, and you love to see it. Okay, pretty interesting list. I'd love to see if the demonic aura is going to come up in this. This is a matchup that theoretically should be, around 50-50 or a little bit Betty favored. We are running a couple green Zoros, but not any choppers. Okay, gonna go ahead and I imagine the green purple. 1 rock paper scissors with the Betty gonna stage. I'm not exactly sure what we discarded, but we definitely added a Lindenberg. Adding a Sanji and Pudding off of our first search. You love to see it. And we have a second search. And we're going to go ahead and add an Usahachi. I appreciate the speed at which they are playing. I don't think these best of 3s are timed. I could be wrong about that. Okay, going to go ahead and pitch stage. And you guys are for sure going to be getting plenty of content from me this week. I know last week I was, a little AFK. I'm sorry about that. Life has gone a bit in the way, but I have a bit more time this week, so definitely will be posting at least once this week. Okay, so giving a 2K off the first 5 swing, that's pretty telling. We're going to go ahead and I'm not exactly sure what this card is. This card might be Gordon. It's a 1-drop. I'm not exactly sure what it might be other than Gordon. But it's an alt art that I do not recognize. Okay, we're going to go ahead and play Zoro on 4. Gonna be honest, these setups are atrocious. I'm gonna go ahead and add a Sanji to our hand and pass. So we have thankfully avoided a trigger on this first swing as the green-purple player. Could have been really devastating if they hit like a Lindenberg there. Also, some Betty players, like the winner of Dublin, have started to up the count of things like Morley to punish when the opponent does this first swing. Okay, the Betty now here with 5 Dawn. Thinking about exactly what numbers they want to swing. Looks like they're going to start off with a 6. We do know there's a 2K Sanji in hand, so I have to imagine this will be countered out. And I think that's what's going to happen here. Yep. There's the Sanji. Lindenberg hits the field and we pass. This would be a spot where if we had like a radio knife, it could come in huge. Honestly, even the demonic aura here could actually put in some work. Funny enough, the demonic aura actually could be pretty good here. Okay, but just gonna go ahead and go 6 at life. Still not too worried about the triggers at this point. Also, we imagine a lot of the time the opponent's actually going to counter out, but they actually are not. They're going to take... Okay, 4 Dawn left over. I wonder if we are willing to turn our Zoro sideways, turning it into a blocker, or if we want to save it. We're gonna go ahead and play the stage. I wonder if this means a Frankie's coming down. No. Just gonna cycle a bit more. Grab a Luffy Taro. Luffy Taro, typically a little dead in this matchup. A little too slow. But maybe this is one of the games, because we've been able to counter out early, because they haven't found any Karasus or any Ivankovs of either kind. This is the sort of game where maybe we actually will have enough time to play the Luffy Taro. I could see that being the case. Now we are on, I believe, 7 Dawn. Don't think Betty has really specific things they want to do on 7. A lot of the times they'd like to play Koala, I imagine, though it's probably a little less comfortable to do that on 2 life than it would be at 3 or 4. One of the reasons why you don't necessarily want to try and starve the Betty is you get very punished by that Koala. Okay, gonna rest 4? Yeah, 4 for an Ivankov. If this is a Gordon on the board, I really don't know what that art is. We could definitely see this pudding go away, or no. No. I believe Lindenberg only pops at 3,000, so never mind. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and Ivankov effect to special summon a Karasu from our hand. That is huge. Oh, okay, and we're actually going to minus the Sanji and Pudding, and yep, we're going to Gordon minus the Sanji and Pudding, and then we will be able to pop it with the Lindenberg. Okay. We're going to go ahead and take the 8K swing at life. Here at this point, I believe we could go 7-7 if we wanted to, or we could go 6-8. Definitely can't swing 5. Okay, gotta go 8. So I think actually just going to leave this Kuma standing. Not gonna poke for 6. Which makes sense. We can leave it for next turn. It won't get swung over. And next turn we'll be swinging at a 5K leader. We'll have more Dawn to attach to it. Oh, finding another Karasu. Okay, all of a sudden this is looking pretty scary for the green-purple Luffy player. However, only 3 cards in the Betty's hand. I have no idea what he pitched. Okay, and we are just going to throw down This Luffy Taro probably looking to set up to kill next turn. We're going to go ahead and forget to draw. Yep, we forgot to draw. Yeah. Okay. What can you do, right? There's also a really huge difference here about being at 5 or 6 Dawn because we lost that Sanjin pudding. It makes it so that we can't do things like play a Robin and keep a Dawn up. Also, electing to not swing the Zoro. Looks like we plan to just go for a big push next turn. We were able to get the Lindenberg off the board, which is pretty huge. Gonna go ahead and stage pitch the 3-drop yellow Karasu that we knew was in hand. Gonna go ahead and add an Inazuma. Well, Rosa Webb's setup is impressively bad. Yeah, we can do a lot here. We can do a lot here as the Betty player. Being able to special summon a Karasu. We can double minus the leader. We have a rush card. We have 9 Dawn. Really a lot that we are able to do here. Also a bit of landscaping going on nearby. Hopefully you guys cannot hear that. Okay, so the Betty with 4 Dawn left hasn't leader affected yet. Feels almost like this is the turn where they have to go for game. They've committed so much. They're not removing anything on the GP's board. Okay, so going to go ahead and swing. I believe this is an 8 into a 4. We're going to go ahead and block and skill here. Adding a 0 cost. That could be massive. Yep, you can add that. Okay, this looks like... I kind of think that Fox's last card in hand should be another 3-drop Karasu blocker. I feel like we should have kept that in hand as a potential pivot if absolutely necessary. Okay, but they didn't, so we'll never know what's in their hand probably. Yeah, I feel like that could have been a good potential pivot. But here we went, I think this was... Okay, we're going to go ahead and 0 cost. We're going to go 6 into 4. We're going to go ahead and go 7 into 4. Which will be met by double 2K. And then this is the final swing. Which we're just going to take easily. Oh, we're going to trigger. Who knows if that's actually the search event? Okay, it is. I'm going to pass. Okay, as long as we avoid any nasty triggers, we should kill here. Should probably start off with a 7 from Sanji and Pudding. I don't think I like this 6. If they have a 2K and they trigger a blocker, we insta-lose. Whereas if we go like 7, 9, they take, they trigger. We still have what, we're at 6 Dawn, so we still essentially have 6 Dawn left to play with. Okay, it's a little bit better if you have the Luffy, so fair enough. Yep, gonna restand it. This should just be game every time, even with a trigger. This trigger doesn't matter. Yep. I want to pause and think about how this goes. Okay. Okay, it's 2K brick. So the brick was in... It doesn't even make sense for the brick to be in hand, yo. It doesn't even make sense for the brick to be in hand. So they just chose not to counter out of the 6K swing? That doesn't make sense, though. It doesn't make sense for the brick to be in hand, because why did they not pitch it off of stage? I guess they didn't pitch it off stage because they didn't know they were going to get the Inazuma, so they were originally planning to play the dragon. So let's say there's the brick in hand. We go 6. They get the 2K. We go 7. Or, okay, actually, let's think about the way that I wanted to do it. Assuming no secret rare Luffy. We go 7. They take. Now they have 2 cards in hand. I want to go 9 next. They take. They trigger a blocker. They have 2 cards in hand. We have 6 Dawn left for 2 6K leaders. So we get to go 9-9. It's always guaranteed. We didn't even need this. As long as there wasn't 2 blockers, 2 blocker triggers, we always had it guaranteed. We just go 7, they're forced to take. We go 9, they're forced to take. They trigger, they still only have 2 cards in hand. We go 9-9, dead. And even if they hit like a crazy trigger, like there's that one trigger that I think like draws 2. Let's say they draw 2 on the last one, they're still dead. If they like draw 2 and blocker or like double blocker, then it's like tough, obviously. But GP winning game 1, winning the roll, obviously pretty helpful there. Also, we definitely saw like exactly what we want to see as green purple, whereas the Betty player had a pretty weak 5 Dawn turn was the big issue. Despite having stage having a very, very weak 5 Dawn turn. Have to imagine Betty's going second. We're going to start off with a Nami from the green purple side. Going to go ahead and add this Usahachi. Going to go ahead and pass. Betty going to get 2 Dawn. Going to draw for turn. Gonna rest those for Akuma just to pop our Nami. Gonna go ahead and stage draw 1. Gonna go ahead and take that life. I have to sneeze so bad. Excuse me. Allergy season. I'm just taking a little allergy medicine. Okay. So we're able to Ivankov Lindenberg here on our 4 Dawn turn. Obviously a lot better than anything we had going on last game. We're going to go ahead and swing over this Kuma. We've also already been able to deal 1 damage which last game took us a little bit longer to be able to do that sort of thing. We're going to go ahead and add the 2K Sanji and pass turn. If anyone is going to Vegas, come say what up. Come say what's up with it. I won't bite, I promise. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and play this 5-drop of Ivankov. Okay, going to go ahead and... Oh, wow. Okay, I have a strong feeling GP is for sure losing this game. I don't even know what sequence of events is going to have to happen for us to win this. Okay. Gonna swing 6 at 4, which we will 2K, 1K. And now we're going to go 8-8 and push them down to 1 life. Yeah, this GP player is so dead. This is exactly where Betty wants to be. I still kind of can't believe that the GP player forgot to draw off Sanji and Pudding last game. I wonder how familiar they are with the deck. Me personally, the entire reason I even play the deck is because Sanji and Pudding draws a card. Oh my god, he forgot to again. I'm sick, brother. There's no way. There's no way. I'm so sick. Oh my god. There's no way. I'm tripping. I'm hallucinating right now. It's the only explanation. Insane that the Betty player hasn't caught it either, by the way. I don't think the draw is optional. I'm fairly certain the draw is mandatory. So technically, if the Betty player has realized and hasn't said anything, that is against policy, because it is both players' responsibilities to ensure a correct game state, and by not reminding your opponent to draw off of the Sanji and Pudding, you are not doing your part in that. That said, no one will ever know if you realize they didn't draw. So you could never get a warning or any punishment for not reminding your opponent, hey, you're supposed to draw a card there. It's also entirely possible that the Belo Betty player doesn't actually know that the Sanji and Pudding is supposed to draw there, or doesn't know that the card is mandatory. You know, they're a Betty player. They're not a GP Luffy player. They might not realize that the card is mandatory. And if it's not mandatory, obviously you would not remind your opponent, because why am I going to tell you to draw a card? That's not happening. Also, maybe I'm hallucinating and okay, dead, obviously. You were dead regardless of those draws, brother. Okay, the all-important game 3. Betty, big think on the keeper mole. GP with the big mole. Gonna start with a Betty to grab the 5-cost Ivankov. exactly the sort of things you want to be seeing when you're going first. Gonna go ahead and start with the 1 cost event, grabbing a Sanji and Pudding. And we'll pass there. Gonna go ahead and start off with a 5 swing, which we will give a 2K, pretty telling about our hand. We also haven't seen green Law at all in this best of 3 so far. Also haven't seen Demonic Aura come down at all. Okay, gonna go ahead and just drop the Koala here, just to get it on field. Dang, I thought that was gonna be a green Law, and I was gonna be like, I'm so tapped in. But nope, just gonna play the purple Zoro. Swing 5. I imagine we take this. I really like these sleeves that the Betty player is repping. Okay, going to go ahead and Ivankov. Thinking about what we want to summon. I'm a little surprised that we have to think about this. I feel like this decision should typically be pretty easy. The thing is, sometimes adding things to your hand can be a little tricky because it's like, okay, this is a good card, but am I actually gonna play it? When you're literally special summoning something, it's just like, I should just summon the best card. So it should be a pretty black and white, easy decision, I feel like. Okay, but gonna go ahead and swing 5. Oh my god, did we just take a 5-er? Oh, this is disastrous. And they just pitched the card that they added from life. I mean, when they took a 5, surely we're swinging this Koala, no? I feel like surely we're swinging this Koala. No. Okay. I mean, I get it. It gets to swing bigger next turn, so fair enough. Okay. Doesn't forget the draw this time because there is no draw. I also don't really like the way that they are shortcutting the Dawn. I haven't heard any horror stories of anyone like sharking how people do the Dawn situation. But me personally, I'm never giving the opponent a chance. I'm going leader effect, return to Dawn, restand to Dawn, Sanji and Pudding, refund Dawn. I'm doing the whole thing. Ain't no one ever gonna try and shark me on that. I'm not giving them an opportunity. I'll tell you that right now. Landscaper's getting a little bit louder, so hopefully you guys cannot hear that. If you can, I'm so sorry. So going to go ahead and swing over the Lindenberg. Gonna go ahead and swing over the 1-drop Belo Betty, and we'll just pass there. Getting that Lindenberg off the board is really huge. Really, really, really huge. This feels like a game that could go either way. I definitely like where the green-purple player is standing currently. But I'm also a little nervous about how they weren't countering last turn. Okay, and here's the 6-drop Koala. Definitely not what you want to see if you are the green-purple player. Gonna be able to take a life and then special summon a 4-drop from our hand. Oh, and it's gonna be 4 cost of Ivankov, and we get to draw a card. Wow, what a broken card. What an absolutely bonkers card. Okay, gonna go ahead and pitch another 6-drop Koala. And if we have a Karasu to pair with this, I no longer like where the GP player is standing. And there it is. Kind of like this sweater that Fox Inflow is wearing. Looks really cozy. Okay. Gonna go ahead and go 5 of 5. If we don't pass this counter check, we lose on the spot. That's all I'm gonna say about that. If we cannot pass this counter check, we actually lose on the spot. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, there we go. There's 2K. I imagine this is a 7 from the Koala. I gotta say, not being able to pass this counter check is also going to be rather devastating. This feels like a situation where we might have to go for game with a secret rare Luffy. And we're probably never getting there because our opponent has 2 life, a blocker, and 4 in hand. And we only have, I believe, 7 Dawn. I just can't imagine a world where we survive another turn, honestly. So to me, it kind of feels like we might have to go for game. Okay, we're trying to survive another turn. Unfortunate that the Koala is a 6. If it was only a 5, maybe we could see the demonic aura come down. I died to that card in Orlando. It was tough. Okay, so we are trying to play a little bit of board control. I'm gonna go ahead and kill the Koala. This is a situation where maybe a radio knife could come up huge. I'm gonna go ahead and go 8 at the Ivankov, I have to imagine. Not really a huge fan of how we're doing these swings, but it's okay. I would have preferred to swing 8 with the Sanji and Pudding first, probably. A little bit less Dawn commitment. Because here, if they let it die on the first 8, I guess this is why we did it like this. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough, you got me there. I think the opponent only has 7 Dawn, yeah. Okay. Okay. I'm just gonna do a little bit of cheating. That's okay. That's okay, I guess. Basically decided, you know what, once he realized that his opponent only had 7 Dawn, he elected to not return the Dawn from Sanji and Pudding. Yeah, okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Seems like his opponent was fine with it. Also, I don't think these are like the most high stake games ever, so probably not a big deal. Okay, throwing down the dragon, so we're absolutely going for game this turn. Our opponent has a blocker, 2 Dawn up, and a life. The thing is, if we pressure them to like double Gum Gum, probably don't even actually have to go for game, honestly. If we can get the block and double Gum Gum, and we just leave up the Koala, like they're gonna have no Dawn, and we can probably like fake go for life, or fake go for game. Oh, and there's a second Karasu. Okay, we don't have to fake go for anything. We don't have to fake go for anything. They're just dead. Gonna go ahead and swing 8 at 4. Oh, they are dead. Okay, gonna go ahead and giant here. Draw 2, pitch a 1K. I don't think he knows he has to pitch a 1K. There we go. Swing 8, feel great. That's what I always say. We're going to be able to go 3 8s and 2 9s. Oh. So we can... We basically just have to counter out of 1 more hit. Oh, no, never mind. 2 more hits. 2 more hits. 2 more hits. Oh, we're not countering out of 2 more hits. He is ready to reveal. He's bricked up. He's dead. GG. Very well played by the Betty player. The double Karasu here was absolutely bonkers. Thank you everyone who supports me on Metafy. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.